And you are welcome along to the Huddle Breakdown Extra Time episode where we are a man down. Our good friend Martin turned up. I don't know, he has the plague or something. He's not feeling well. Maybe COVID version 8000 that's now floating about. But anyway, we hope Martin feels better soon. He's not able to make it today. So you're stuck with me in the pseudo hosting duty again with my good friend Alan Morrison. Who's dealing with life travails. We share these things even though we're a few years apart. Kids moving in, kids moving out. I mean, what the hell's with these kids? Can't they just settle their lives and stop annoying us with making us have to move crap, Alan? What's going on with your moving crap?
Well, there is a link. There is a link between Martin not being well and my latest empty nesting, which happened today. So taking the wee one up to university. So mixture of joy and tears. These things are very bittersweet. Really, you're happy for them and very excited for them, but also a little bit sad as well. But she left with a bit of a cold, and so she's going to be the one that's
super spreader.
Super spreader, generating contributing to the petri dish of germs that always happens when students, that first term especially, everyone comes back from all over the country in September with a whole host. I know Martin's been he's been gallivanting, hasn't he? He's been gallivanting around Celtic events, social occasions, meeting the great and the good of Celtic history, and so maybe it's just all caught up with him. He's maybe not able to do the full kind of program of events that he used to do when he was a younger man. It's all catches up with
you. These jet set lifestyles. Yeah. Well, no, as a pseudo viewer, I see that you're back in your studio. So you've reclaimed the Huddle Breakdown studio.
Absolutely, this is all part of the empty nesting process. So we've shipped 2 of them away over the last couple of weeks, and I am finally making claim to my little studio and Subutio den. So I'll start to build it up over the next few weeks. We're going to be back to 2 games a week, though, aren't we? So we'll see how much time I've got for all that.
Yeah. Well, just quick with the chit chat over. We are going to go over some of the tactical implications of what Celtic might be confronting as the rest of the season. Now that the window has slammed shut, and the very graceful, well organized, and wonderfully received transfer window is over. We're going to talk about a little bit more in depth what that might mean. And our thoughts on kind of the tactical implications, and we'll even be so audacious as to talk about what we'd like to see again a little more in depth. And then from there, we're going to transition into a little bit of a conversation on the risks that we're facing. Transition. Alan wrote a column this week that published in the Celtic Way, so we're going to delve into that a little bit. Then we'll get into previewing Kilmarnock. They've had an interesting. They're another team that I think they have all draws this season, so they're mimicking a certain other club in the league and getting all draws, and talk about what kind of challenge at Rugby Park they might present on the weekend. And then lastly, we'll kind of wrap up with what I think, and I think you agree, is an interesting weekend in the Premiership generally. There's some pretty cool fixtures that might help us shine more light on some of the dynamics as the season's beginning to unfold here. So that's kind of the agenda. So let's kick it off. What with the window closed, again, I think we'll know more once we see the selection and the game on Sunday against Kilmarnock. But your best guess with what we might see, we'll start there, more so what we might see, what we likely will see from Rodgers and his team in the coaching staff, what they've cooked up over these 2 weeks now that we've got these new players in, and presumably talk of a Maeda meeting when he returns from international duty after he got his butt kicked by the Americans, by the way. 2-0 USA over Japan. That was a shocker. Another friendly. They're all friendlies for the U.S. national team as they get direct entry. They haven't earned it. They bought it. Access to the World Cup, obviously. But So yes, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, sadly, I think that the lineup will be the same shape as we have played for the last 2 seasons, and that's continues to be a surprise to me. I don't know why I should be surprised after 2 seasons. Rodgers not really changing his approach shouldn't be a surprise, but it kind of is, and it is when you think about the state of the squad and the state that the team is in. Now we talk here about risks, and I'll explain what I mean by that in a little moment. So I think essentially we're going to shoehorn the players that we have into that sort of 4-3-3 shape. Um, and that's despite the fact, especially in the forward areas. I think for the forward areas, obviously, we don't have great options on the right wing. We either flog James Forrest from the start again, or you hope that that Yang, but poor kid. I mean, cleared his locker out, went all the way to Birmingham, and had to turn back and so forth. And we know we've talked about Yang endlessly. We know that what the limitations are, and they wouldn't have changed over the course of the last 2 weeks, sadly. So we've got huge limitations on the right hand side, where the only other option seems to be to move Negrin to that position, which seems to then reduce his effectiveness compared to how really well he'd settled in as that sort of attacking number 8. So you remove a goal threat from midfield without really adding much to your attacking threat on the wings. And then on the left, on the face of it, we've got 2 new players competing for the same position, plus Maeda, who's Rodgers prefers to play on that position. And to be fair, Maeda has mainly played there in his career, even in his 24-goal J League season. He played around about, let's call it 75-25 in terms of left wing to striker. But every time he has played striker, both previously for Yokohama and for Celtic, his goal return is incredible. He's almost a goal, if not a goal a game when he does play striker. So that all seems very imperfect to me. And then we know that the midfield have been struggling a little bit. McGregor, as I pointed out in my piece on huddlebreakdown.com, is really struggling. We can talk about that in terms of, is it him, is it the team, the system, etc., or both. Rio Hotati's form is I mean, everyone, again, we all remember the goal at Aberdeen, but you need to look at the other 89 minutes and 30 seconds and the other games. If I give you one stat really to bring that to life a little bit, is that normally for a creative midfielder like Hotati, your pack passing score would be something like 50, right? And your pack turnover, as in the impact of you giving the ball away in dangerous areas, would be like minus 15 or something. Well, his pack passing score and pack turnover scores almost cancel each other out. Right? That's how bad he has been so far this season across all of the games. So our midfield weaknesses are there for all to see. And obviously, we don't know if Tony Ralston's fit. He missed the Scotland World Cup matches. Obviously, Johnson's not going to be fit yet. Tierney didn't make it. We've seen his fitness almost deteriorate the longer he's been at the club, rather than it improving. So all these factors, to me, all suggest that Rodgers should change shape. And then if you add into the mix inherent risks that were there before the disaster of the summer transfer window, which is, aging goalkeeper in Schmeichel, the ongoing concerns over fitness and availability of Cameron Carter-Vickers, especially on the plastic pitch at Kilmarnock. Liam Scales, and I will say this, Liam Scales has probably been Celtic's most consistent player this season, and fair play to him. I think he's been terrific. But we know, and it's not changed fundamentally. That we doubt whether his role as a first team starter. Aging McGregor, as I talked about, the overall effectiveness of the midfield, even before we started checking being off form.
We hope you enjoyed this free preview from all of us here at the Huddle Breakdown. We know you have options and we really appreciate you tuning in. To hear the rest of this episode and for much more Huddle Breakdown content, head on over to www.huddlebreakdown.com. We hope you consider subscribing. Thank you.